John Manuelian also joins us, a great attorney out there in Los Angeles. John, you know, I went through this report. I read each page. I went through it line by line. And nowhere in this report, guess what I don't find? Any indication or any information from Casey Anthony that her daughter had drowned in the pool in the backyard. Nothing. Not on any one of these pages, any information like that. I find that a little curious, John. Makes me question whether or not that there's any veracity to that story. If you're being questioned by Department of Children and Families, shouldn't you tell them what happened to your child?
Yeah, absolutely. And can you imagine if the prosecutor actually had these documents? They would have had a field day with this in front of the jury. But remember something, the standards in civil proceedings are much, much less in criminal proceedings. So it's easier to find somebody in neglect of a child in civil court as opposed to criminal court. That
is so true. John Manuelian, you know, I think about probation and the purpose of it. And the purpose is really to protect us, right? The law-abiding members of the public from someone who's been given a break because they've been placed on probation instead of being incarcerated. To me, it seems silly, number one, that you serve probation while incarcerated. But, all right, they do that sometimes in Florida, apparently. But, you know, if he orders it and then they appeal it, I mean, she should still be on probation because the purpose is to rehabilitate her while they protect the rest of us, isn't it?
Yeah, and that's right, Vinny, and that's exactly why I think this judge is going to let her go. It's too much hoopla, it's too much fiasco to bring her back into Florida, give her extra security, spend more taxpayer dollars on protecting her, have another media circus. Perry doesn't want that. I think is going to rule that, you know what, we're just going to call it a day, give her the time served, or in the worst case scenario, transfer to Ohio. I don't even think is going to do that, though.
Well, you transfer to Ohio, but she might be in California. We don't know where she is, John. That's right.
She's not here. She's not in my jacuzzi.
Exactly. John Manuelian, I'd love to see that job interview. So, Miss Anthony, tell me a little bit about. So you work at Universal. How did that end up for you? John, do you think that she could be, do you agree? Michelle may be right here, I don't know. I just don't think she would succeed because of her history. But do you think she would succeed on probation?
Absolutely. Let me tell you why. Number one, she was a model custody prisoner while she was waiting for the trial.
Wait. She was locked up by herself 23 hours a day, right?
Yeah, but she complied with all of the sheriffs. She never argued. She was very respectful. And remember one thing, she's going to be publishing a booklet very soon. And believe it or not, she's going to make more money than you, Vinny. So I think she's going to be okay.
Well, that's not saying much. Making more money than me. She was eating sleep while she was in jail. Who's going to pay her? Wait, someone paying her for a book? Michael Christian?
My understanding is she had a deal with their criminal defense attorney, Mr. Baez.
Imagine that.
But she has a judgment. She's going to have a judgment against her as well, though. So she has to satisfy any judgment that's going to be against her, plus if there's any restitution. So she has
John Manuelian, as Martin Savage reported, it's a shutdown. There's now a lack of communication. Obviously, from a criminal defense point of view, that's the first thing you tell your client to do is to shut up. Should we read any deeper into this?
No, I do that with all my clients. Not because people think that just because a lawyer says that you shouldn't talk to the police, you must be guilty. That's not true. You want to shut your client's mouth because things could be distorted and twisted, and you don't want the police report saying one thing when your client says another. So I wouldn't take anything from that.
So some complicated relationships, and while not speaking to investigators or prosecutors when you're being detained may not be evidence of anything, how about the fact that you're leaving the country? You go on vacation with someone who you're seeing, who you're having some form of a relationship with. They go missing, and then you head off to the airport to head back to the United States. That doesn't sound so good, John.
No, it doesn't. But you got to keep things in perspective here. I've been to Aruba, and I've been scuba diving in Aruba, and I can tell you those waters are pretty harsh. So it's possible that this guy has a domestic violence conviction. It's possible that he's been arrested with theft several times, but yet he didn't commit the murder. This could have been an accident. I think it's too early at this point in time to rush to judgment.